Hi everyone, Harry here to talk about the rapidly unfolding and rapidly contentious investigation into the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Remember, there are two parts to this. There's what the hell happened that crooks had 150-yard line of sight shot, what kind of failures of the Secret Service, whose job it is to secure the perimeter, and not just the perimeter where people who've gone through magnetometers are observing, but anywhere that there could be line-of-sight shootings, all that part of the Secret Service, which, as I've suggested before, and we'll get into it more, is rapidly moving to very sort of polarized arguments and contention, with prominent senators calling on the head of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, to resign. Get back to that in a moment. But what about the nuts and bolts investigation, the part that is under Merrick Garland? And we are finding out more. And to me, it's all of a piece with what I have been saying since the first details, which is this seems to be an actual lone wolf, as opposed to someone who was lonely or otherwise isolated and fell into a bigger group and was ideologically kind of turned. That's one. And two, mental illness plays a big role. So he's a 20-year-old male acting alone. To me, that screams out, when you have that kind of situation here, you want to find out about the mental health of the shooter. And the most interesting things we've learned now and that have been revealed, basically, he's not only a lone wolf, he's not a Trump hater. He's not. Trump seems to have, been his opportunity, but they were able. His phone was password protected, but they were able to crack it, and we have searches about Biden as well as about Trump. Searches of the Democratic National Committee convention as well as the Republican. And it seems very possible, and recall, by the way, he's a registered Republican, but he's once given a small donation to a left-leaning PAC. This is a guy who, for whatever reason, the reason that it wasn't is animus or complete, detesting of Donald Trump, as much as some kind of splash. Suicide by cop is how you sometimes refer to it, but in particular here, big time splash of a suicide by a cop. And there is not, as is often the case, a whole profusion of different things he said, but there is one really illuminating social media thing he wrote, interestingly, on a gaming platform. He's a gamer. We know he's good at math and science. On a gaming platform called Steam, he wrote, "July 13th will be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds." So, a guy who I think is undergoing a major depressive disorder has taken the opportunity. Trump's coming to town next. He lives in Pittsburgh, 40 miles from Butler. Now, the other details that are coming out, we know he visited the site twice after the speech was announced to sort of case things. We've already known he got his dad's AR-15. His dad is a big gun guy, has, a dozen or more guns there, and he takes one of them. And then seems not to be a great shot, but he's very methodical in his planning of just where he'll be. And then in an important juncture, he is very hard to see and shoot at, and that juncture. And now we'll jump over to the other side of the whole controversy. 86 seconds. 86 seconds. Pretend I've just now stopped and counted to 86. It's an eternity between the time he's first noticed and when that first shot rings out. Now, it's true, during that time, the Secret Service is scrambling, trying to get up at him. He's on that roof. Somebody actually tries and then falls down and gets really injured. But man, oh man, that's a long time. You can't just, if you haven't already scoped it and you don't have coverage on it, you can't just boom, take him out. But, you need something concrete. But how at that point they, weren't able to immobilize him is going to be, this is a big part of why people are saying the Secret Service needs to resign. So it's 86 seconds until this the first shot that hits Trump's, or that kicks up something that wounds him in the air. It's not 100% clear, though. Trump says it was the bullet. It could well have been, but there were 8 or 9 thereafter before he is shot and killed. One other big detail, he's noticed earlier in the rally, and I believe this is in the perimeter, so he's probably hidden the gun somewhere outside where he goes to use it. But he's seen and he looks a little suspicious, and they take a picture of him, but then they kind of lose sight of him in the whole hubbub of other things. They're worried about other suspicious folks. So, that's a little damning. But the biggest thing in my mind is having gone out there and not done the proper perimeter sweep, so leaving that spot exposed, and then a pretty damn long time before at least, some spectators and even it looks like maybe public law enforcement know that he's up there. All right, so the Secret Service is now exploding into public view, as I said that it probably would. There's been one briefing by Cheadle to lawmakers, and they came out and pronounced themselves dissatisfied. Her job is very much on the line. There's now going to be another one, but they haven't. It's clear she's not come close to placating them. So there's a crisis for the Secret Service, and it's not clear how it's going to play out. Back on the other side, the law enforcement side, the side I know better, it's really coming into good focus, and that the way it appeared from the beginning, but the way that is not the usual pattern for political assassinations. No animus toward the guy, no Confederates, no general pattern of being radicalized. Truly a 20-year-old lone wolf with apparently a serious depressive disorder and awareness of it, but as far as we know, no treatment and the like, but someone who feels himself deeply mentally ill and must have known, in a sense, this is the suicide by cop part, that this was his so-called premier was gonna result in his death. So that picture is nearly complete. There'll certainly be more details to run down, but that part seems fairly solid, and the other side is going to be a raging crisis and in the political visible sphere, especially in Congress, for weeks to come, and there'll be increasing pressure on Cheadle to resign. That's the story of both sides of the attempted assassination. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.